but the dimensions of its threat have loomed large on the horizon for many years. Whatever our hopes may be for the future, for reducing this threat or living with it, there is no escaping either the gravity or the totality of its challenge to our survival and to our security. A challenge that confronts us in unaccustomed ways in every sphere of human activity.
This is important work. It has made a real difference in the lives of our people. And it could not have happened had we not worked together. And yet, around the globe, we are seeing the same forces of global integration that have made us interdependent also expose deep fault lines in the existing international order.
The president-elect is coming into office at a moment when there are upheavals in many parts of the world simultaneously. You have India, Pakistan, you have the jihadist movement. So he can't really say there is one problem and it's the most important one. But he can give a new impetus to American foreign policy, partly because the reception of him is so extraordinary around the world. I think his task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
We see it in the headlines every day. Around the world, refugees flow across borders in flight from brutal conflict. Financial disruptions continue to weigh upon our workers and entire communities. Across vast swaths of the Middle East, basic security, basic order has broken down.
It would be a serious mistake for the United States to abandon our responsibilities or cede the mantle of leadership for global peace and security.
And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control.
We see too many governments muzzling journalists and quashing dissent and censoring the flow of information. Terrorist networks use social media to prey upon the minds of our youth, endangering open societies.
And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Powerful nations contest the constraints placed on them by international law.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
By international law. In order to move forward, though, we do have to acknowledge that the existing path to global integration requires a course correction by international law. Alternative visions of the world have pressed forward, both in the wealthiest countries and in the poorest. Religious fundamentalism, the politics of ethnicity or tribe or sect, aggressive nationalism, crude populism, sometimes from the far left, but more often from the far right, which seeks to restore what they believe was a better, simpler age, free of outside contamination.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned. No secret is revealed.
So the answer cannot be a simple rejection of global integration. Instead, we must work together to make sure the benefits of such integration are broadly shared, that the disruptions, economic, political, and cultural, that are caused by integration are squarely addressed.
Today, no war has been declared, and however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion. Our way of life is under attack. Those who make themselves our enemy are advancing around the globe. The survival of our friends is in danger, and yet no war has been declared.
A quarter century after the end of the Cold War, the world is by many measures less violent and more prosperous than ever before. And yet our societies are filled with uncertainty and unease and strife.
In time of war, the government and the press have customarily joined in an effort, based largely on self-discipline, to prevent unauthorized disclosures to the enemy. In times of clear and present danger, the courts have held that even the privileged rights of the First Amendment must yield to the public's need for national security. Today, no war has been declared, and however fierce the struggle may be, it may never be declared in the traditional fashion. Our way of life is under attack.
Despite enormous progress, as people lose trust in institutions, governing becomes more difficult. And tensions between nations become more quick to surface. And so I believe that at this moment, we all face a choice. We can choose to press forward with a better model of cooperation and integration, or we can retreat into a world sharply divided.
Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
And we can only realize the promise of this institution's founder to replace the ravages of war with cooperation if powerful nations, like my own, accept constraints.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind, peace and security.
And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security.
The word peacekeeping does not appear in the Charter of the United Nations. But for the past 7 decades, our collective ability to maintain international peace and security
will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment.
Thank you very much, Minister Westervelt, for calling us together at this critical moment to discuss peace and security.
My vision is 2 states, living side by side, in peace and security.
I want to talk about our common responsibilities in the face of a common danger. The events of recent weeks may have helped to illuminate that challenge for some, but the dimensions of its threat have loomed large on the horizon for many years. Whatever our hopes may be for the future, for reducing this threat or living with it, there is no escaping either the gravity or the totality of its challenge to our survival and to our security. A challenge that confronts us in unaccustomed ways in every sphere of human activity.
Sometimes I'm criticized in my own country for professing a belief in international norms and multilateral institutions, but I am convinced that in the long run, giving up some freedom of action, not giving up our ability to protect ourselves or pursue our core interests, but binding ourselves to international rules over the long term enhances our security.
Our way of life is under attack.
We are all stakeholders in this international system, and it calls upon all of us to invest in the success of the institutions to which we belong. And the good news is that many nations have shown what kind of progress is possible when we make those commitments. Consider what we've accomplished here over the past few years.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it.
If the unspeakable happened to us, and we should all understand that ultimately our world will be more secure if we are prepared to help those in need and the nations who are carrying the largest burden with respect to accommodating these refugees. If the unspeakable happened to us, there are a lot of nations right now that are doing the right thing. But many nations, particularly those blessed with wealth, the benefits of geography, they can do more to offer a hand. Time and again, human beings have believed that they finally arrived at a period of enlightenment, only to repeat then cycles of conflict and suffering. And to recognize that I can best serve my own people. I can best look after my own daughters by making sure that my actions seek what is right for all people and all children and your daughters and your sons. This is what I believe, that all of us can be co-workers with God.
Pope Francis is to take part in the final meeting of the World Day of Prayer for Peace when he travels to Assisi on Tuesday, the 20th of September. The World Day of Prayer for Peace concludes a three-day event organized by the Sant'Egidio community and entitled this year, Thirst for Peace, Religions and Cultures in Dialogue. It sees the presence and participation of some 450 religious leaders of different faiths gathered to pray for peace and strengthen dialogue in the spirit of Assisi. As the Bishop of Assisi, Domenico Sorrentino, explained to me, the event takes place in a historic moment for peace building as we witness so many situations of war, terrorism and widespread violence.
It's a great occasion to bring people together, bring the believers of all religions in this moment where the world is facing a big crisis, as we see every day. Big crisis of globalization, big crisis also of wars, fought in pieces, like the Holy Father used to say. And this occasion of grace, because we are together not only to reflect, this is important, but also to pray, each one according his own tradition, but we want to reaffirm the importance of the faith, the importance of prayer, the importance of the grace of God, if we want really build a new world, a world of peace.
But the dimensions of its threat have loomed large on the horizon for many years. There is no escaping either the gravity or the totality of its challenge to our survival.
It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources.
Basic security, basic order has broken down.
It sees the presence and participation of some 450 religious leaders of different faiths gathered to pray for peace and strengthen dialogue.
This is important work. We are all stakeholders in this international system. Time and again, human beings have believed that they finally arrived at a period of enlightenment. This is what I believe, that all of us can be co-workers with God.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Scott Binsack, CEO and founder of March for America. Thank you for joining me. It is April 17th, 2017. Hang on one second.
We're about to go for a ride.
Yeah, we're about to go for a ride, all right. We're already in that ride. That's for sure. And that ride is huge. It is massive. It is happening. And President Kennedy has put it out there best. He tried to warn everybody. This is not a joke. It's not a conspiracy. It is truth. It is fact. And today, you see what was just shown to you in that video, with Obama leading the helm. Still, even with Donald Trump as president, Obama is leading the helm with other New World Order globalists. Out of that video, it is precisely stated, out of chaos, out of world chaos, will come a new world order. Some will say this is prophesized. I have to agree in certain extent. For days, actually, I should say for months and months, watching people through this election process believe that the election of one man could stop New World Order. We all have to believe that we can stop New World Order. I fully believe the people are the only ones that can stop New World Order. Because at this moment in time, Donald Trump, someone I support and respect totally, has now been surrounded by neocons. And in layman's terms, the shit is about to hit the fan. It is already hitting the fan. The United States has troops built up to the max and building further on the European border in Poland and around Russia. We have troops that have gone in through Jordan, getting ready to go into Syria to Damascus. Turkey, as you know, its president actually duped Russia, and Putin just got newly elected, also has its military on Syria's border. We just sent more troops over into Somalia. We have another 2 aircraft carriers headed towards North Korea. Russia has its newest anti-aircraft system on border with North Korea. China has 150,000 troops on North Korea's border. We are at a standoff with North Korea. Remember what I said to you, out of chaos comes a new world order, while Obama is sitting in French Polynesia. Coincidence? No. Coincidence? No. You have America divided. You have even Trump supporters fighting amongst themselves. You have truthers under complete attack by the left and as well as deep state. We're all being censored. Alex Jones is being heavily censored. He's being reported as a fraud. MFA is being reported as a fraud. Other truthers are being reported as frauds and trying to be blocked off the internet. Complete censorship. Google. WikiLeaks. We have Pompeo, who just came out and said WikiLeaks is responsible for dealing with Russia. Donald Trump was surrounded and has picked by the advice of the wrong people. Deep state neocons. McMaster. Key player. Huge key player. Some are arguing that Mattis, as I will show you shortly, that the military has gone rogue. We've just dropped one of the biggest bombs next to a nuclear bomb ever, the Moab. And I can assure you, I know for a fact Donald Trump did not know about it. It was not even told to him until after the fact. That is a fact. War with North Korea is imminent. At the same time, it looks like Russia may be backing up North Korea. China is playing there is a very big connection here between Donald Trump and China. And it is coming out. The yen is at its highest yet, and the dollar has been depreciated. The ones benefiting from all of this are China, just so you all know. Not the United States when it comes to financial. Well, yet a lot of America wants World War III, it seems. Everyone's pushing for World War III. When people start coming home in body bags, maybe then you'll get it. War is not the answer. That's what the globalist New World Order wants. That's what Obama wants. Out of chaos comes a New World Order. Henry Kissinger. I can remember when Trump was running. I did a show and a video, I believe it was from my car. I said, because it alarmed me so bad that Henry Kissinger, after a special trip to China, when he landed, the first place he went was not his hotel, but to Trump Towers to meet with Donald Trump in private. Globalist Henry Kissinger. He's been in Donald Trump's ear for a long period of time. Many people are saying that Donald Trump has switched his campaign promises to not to go into other wars, not to be in Syria, not to, focus on Make America Great Again. Many things are on the back burner here at home. And as you all know, I am an avid Trump supporter, but I am still going to put America first, and I'm going to bring you the truth. The globe is in the worst state it has ever been beyond World War II. Understand this. And people may not understand the destruction of nuclear weapons, but the fallout therefrom. Russia is being surrounded on all fronts. Russia is being blamed for chemical attacks. Russia for hacking our elections, conspiring with Trump, collusion. While everybody goes around saying, no, nothing's going to happen. Everything's okay. Everything's wonderful. If you think this is wonderful, pay attention to the video that was made to play in the first 15 minutes of this. JFK said it best, and he was murdered thereafter. Brains shattered. Blamed on some small man in a little room. CIA, deep state, shadow government. I happened to watch Alex Jones today because I'm not at war with Alex Jones. I respect Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is coming under heavy fire. I am coming under heavy fire. And as Alex Jones said to everybody today, and I'm throwing this into my show because it just happened and it was brought to my attention, he is under serious fire, losing everything on the internet and trying to be censored, as am I, as is MFA. We are going underground. Okay? I'm going to explain how that is at the end of the show. We will still have MFA Public, but MFA Underground we're going underground. There's too many important things to be done and to get the truth to the world. We are working on some very serious investigations, and I'm going to go into one of them today. And people may not like what I'm going to say and to show you, but I'm going to give you the truth no matter what. I put out a post today that no matter what, I'm an avid Trump supporter. However, I will put out the truth. America comes first to me. I hate corruption. I hate politicians that lie through their teeth, which they do on a regular basis. And the most important thing in this country and around the world is that people need to unite for a better cause so that there is not chaos. Because out of chaos comes what? As Henry Kissinger said and Obama said with their New World Order plans, George Bush, out of chaos comes New World Order. In other words, what they're doing right now, and I remember I told you about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was going to be doing a show as to what Obama's end game was. Obama's end game with New World Order, elitist, globalist, is a totally new world order. Not the original plans that have been laid out, not the, even the 7 plan, destruction of the Middle East, excuse me, to ultimately go to war with Iran. We are on the brink here of World War III on hyperspeed. Hyperspeed. I want to remind everybody, most people don't know this, Israel has over 300 nuclear devices. They're not afraid to use them. The United States has hundreds and hundreds of nuclear devices, thousands. Russia, nuclear devices. Very largest arsenal in the world. North Korea wants to do nothing else but to cause havoc. However, we all may be being played the fool here. We all may be being played a fool with North Korea. Because if it's up to McMaster, if it's up to Mattis, we are going to be at war with North Korea, Syria, then Iran, and then ultimately, in the mix of all this, probably Russia. Our troops are the largest ever in the European theater. Please listen to what I'm saying to you, and they're sending more as we speak. We have more troops going to Jordan as we speak. Some have already crossed into Syria. They're 50 miles from that of thousands of Iranian soldiers, forces, and Russian. The Army Rangers Division. Heavily mechanicalized. Damascus. As prophecies say, it starts when Damascus falls. I'm not here to preach religion. I'm here to give you the facts. And you have a situation here where China and Russia could join forces and turn on us because China does not want nuclearized peninsula. They do not want to nuclearize South Korea. But see, out of all of this, the gainer in all of this, and this is what's getting people angry at Donald Trump, and I'm going to lay it to you in layman's terms. The minute Donald Trump turned and said that China is not a currency manipulator, it took the yen and it took their currency and shot it through the roof and took the dollar and went like this. World markets dumped. China, boom. There's a much bigger game here, and it is a group of serious individuals sitting there moving and manipulating pieces and parts across this globe, playing all of us. And the more that the American people and others will say Britain, Australia, look at France as we speak. Le Pen is finished. They're destroying her. They are destroying her, and a communist is rising. A new communist president for France is rising above Le Pen. These are all not coincidences. America must wake up. Because America, as you know it, even with Donald Trump there at the helm, it's not going to change. It's going to get worse. And this is not about Donald Trump. This is about the New World Order that they are creating out of chaos. Donald Trump is also relying too much on his military advisors. Okay? Way too much. If it's up to Mattis, just so you know, there are billionaires right now, a group of billionaires that have put together a major super PAC organization for Mattis to run for president. Fact, we'll show it to you. They want Mattis to run for president in 2020. You see, Donald Trump being a businessman and being a people's president relied on others to give him information on who to pick, what's the best. He's not a politician. And when he had good people in there, and I'm going to tell you something, they basically assassinated Flynn. And there's something huge coming on the horizon, as I've been saying for months, as people keep arguing with me about General Flynn. Part of my show, I'm going to tell you now, General Flynn, and what's about to come out about General Flynn is going to be so massive, it's going to shock the conscience. Carter Page is going down. Manafort is going down. Trump team, anyone who's been fired by Donald Trump out of that whole group is about to go down. It's going to start with the FBI and Comey. Thereafter, it's going to kick into the New York State Attorney General, who is now seeking RICO charges against Donald Trump and team, just so you know this. I was talking to you yesterday in the car about, and I'm going to pull up the article now about a group of Bonanno and Gambino organized crime figures. If you do not know, I grew up with the Bonanno crime family. You can check this out at scottbinsackstayingreal.com. That's my book site. I'm not trying to sell you a book. I'm trying to explain to you my connections and how I know what I'm going to tell you. And I'm limited in what I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm limited. But I can tell you this, and I'm going to show you something. There is a huge, and this is all being put and pivoted out by Obama, Hillary Clinton, through David Brock and American Bridge to impeach Donald Trump. There were FISA warrants. I'll run through that with you as well. And there's a good reason why they got these FISA warrants. And it's all going to come out. And the shit is about to hit the fan. And America better be prepared for it, because I'm going to tell you something. As a Trump supporter, I still support Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to show you what they're going to come with and how hard it's going to be. This is good versus evil. This is people, I'm trying to say, and from the first beginnings of this video, and I'm repeating myself for a reason for those critics and haters. We are coming under serious fire. We are at a crucial point in the world, not just in the United States, in the world. Obama's sitting in Polynesia for a reason, because what Henry Kissinger said with Obama and the Pope, no less. Out of crisis comes a new world order. And it's Obama's new world order with those backing. I'm talking the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Soroses. Obama will not be prosecuted. Hillary Clinton will not be prosecuted. And Jeff Sessions, there's a lot coming with Jeff Sessions as well, so be prepared. The president is one man. And remember, in history, a majority of all presidents were puppets. The ones that were not, Lincoln, dead. Kennedy, who I showed in the beginning of the video, dead. Reagan, warned as well. Tried to kill him. Bush tried to kill him. New World Order several times. Several times. Twice. And thereafter. Point being, and I'm going to say something, whether you like it or not, at this moment in time, Donald Trump is owned by the neocons. He is owned by the neocons. If you've noticed, his behavior has changed. His demeanor has changed. Many things have changed with Donald Trump, and I can see it on his face. Other people are picking this up. It's being picked up all over the place. McMaster's is dangerous. I said it the minute he was appointed and why they picked him, and I said they got rid of Flynn because of it. Everybody was on the verge and believing that the military would protect Donald Trump. What about if the military is the one running the coup on Donald Trump for the powers that be? Did anyone ever think of that? I'm going to bring you in. Give me 1 second here, please. I want to get to the article that I want to show you. We have Pence telling North Korea, hey, We're not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to bring you into that screen. Give me a second. I'm going to run through these articles that I specifically shared. If you see something come on MFA's Facebook page, if it's from me with my name on it, you know I have specifically shared it for a purpose. Give me 1 second. Russia warns U.S. against Syria-style actions in North Korea. Russia has brought in hang on. Russia has just moved in, not the S-400 system, but their new Buck M3 surface-to-air missile system. It is the best in the world. They're bringing it down. It was just released. It's called the Buck M3. You can Google it if you like. I'm not going to go into showing pictures of it. It's more important news. But the Buck M3 has just been moved, and it's being moved, guess where? It's just been brought, I should say, into Syria. The Buck M3 has been brought into Syria, and the S-400 with troops has been brought to North Korea's small section of border as well. And China has amassed on the other side. China keeps winning in this situation, and China will not put up with the United States running the entire peninsula, as I pointed out yesterday, nor nuclearizing South Korea. Putin would not be moving in the Buck M3 anti-missile aircraft system to Syria unless he's dead serious on controlling Syria, and thus continuing to back Bashar al-Assad and preparing for war. He now knows that Turkey basically stabbed him in the back. Erdogan fixed this election in Turkey, and Turkey is on the move in this new world order globalist pitch to become its own, like the Ottoman Empire. They're ready. That's what they're doing. And they have also amassed on Syria's border. We will be in full-blown war in Syria, I guarantee you, regardless of what's been said or not said about Trump saying we're not going into Syria, we don't plan on going there. They're going to make sure, New World Order will make sure that we are dragged into the war in Syria. We're already in the proxy war there. And we're headed and steaming now. We have more aircraft carriers going to, as I will show you here, 3 U.S. aircraft carriers directed towards South Korean shores. Sputnik just reported this, and believe it or not, Sputnik is very good news, and it is corroborated. We corroborated as well with military, channels. There's 3 U.S. aircraft carriers directed towards South Korea on top of the one that's already there. We have troops everywhere. We have military being moved around the globe. We are amassing. Pence visits North Korea border, heartened by China moves. Hawaii panel asks state to prepare for North Korea attack. Forget about this crazy Facebook shooter. Complete distraction. Guy's a nutcase running around. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket and then some. There's people, and the funny, strange part about, nothing's funny about this. The strange part about this is they could find this guy in 2 seconds if they ping his telephone when he's live. Trump and his Easter egg roll. Great looking Easter bunny. Yikes. Here's the key story. This story here is what has kicked off. Prior to this, these 10 charged in alleged mafia crime wave. Okay? These gentlemen are part of the Bonanno and Gambino crime family. I grew up with the Bonanno crime family. Tommy DeFiore is the acting crime boss as we speak. His picture is up on my book site under Scott Binsack, StayingReal.com. how this went down. There's a 37-count indictment, unsealed. This was a little while ago that started this. And I'm going to explain to you now how and what is going on, because this is what's happening. Give me 1 second. Okay. Donald Trump's team, including that all the way even to Jeff Sessions, okay? And I'm going to start though from the beginning of this. Carter Page, Manafort, et al. All have ties, serious ties to Russia. Fact. Donald Trump back in the day and in New York has organized crime ties. I was shocked during the election that not many of that was ever mentioned about the organized crime ties. Nothing uncommon there. You're in New York, you do construction, you're in Atlantic City, you're going to have associates in organized crime. That doesn't mean Donald Trump participated in organized crime or has anything to do with organized crime, and that's not what I'm saying. Please make this understood. The Russian mafia operating out of New York as well. Jewish mafia operating out of New York as well. Okay? Tied to couple of key people. My show today is going to overview all of this, and then we're putting this specifically with our new writers and I'm going to bring you another show all spelled out exactly because there's too much news to cover. News is happening so fast, but America needs to know what's coming, and I'm here to tell you. And there's even word today, or it started 48 hours ago, that there is a tape now, okay, having to do with that Carter Page was to bring to Russia with him, and that on that tape is a message to Putin that Donald Trump would release sanctions, on Russia, as well as relax sanctions on Russia, as well as build their relations with the United States and Russia much stronger. This is before the election now, okay? Before. This information is surfacing. So let me get back to the organized crime and what's happened here. The New York State Attorney General, which probably some of you know, some of you do not know, hates Donald Trump. He's the one that went off to Trump University. He's the one that has gone off to Trump organizations. He hates Donald Trump. People say, what is the New York State Attorney General? They can't touch the president. You're actually very wrong, okay? And the first part of this, I'm going to do this a little backwards so everybody can understand. The New York State Attorney General was investigating with the Eastern District of the United States Organized Crime Division. That's the one I was dealing with when I was a cooperating witness with the FBI, of which I did not testify against the family in question. And I went on the lam for 3 years, roughly almost 3 years. They couldn't find me. Okay, I've never been charged with a federal crime, but I know all of these players in here. And the information I'm giving you, nobody else can have yet. I'm just telling you this. This is coming from horses' mouths, and I'm limited on what I can say and what I cannot say. So I'm going to say it. They brought down the New York Attorney General with the FBI is investigating RICO, which is the Organized Crime Act, okay? They brought down these Bonanno, Gambino associates having to do with money laundering, racketeering of millions and millions of dollars. I mean, up $20, $30 million. In doing so, they deliberately did this so that hoping that a few of these gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, all would roll and give them information having to do anything to do with Trump, Trump's associates, and thus the Russian mafia. In doing so, they got information from these rats. I don't like people who rat. They got information from rats, and I'm saying it about a family associate. They're rats, believe me. They gave information about the Russian mafia, and the Russian mafia tied to one particular individual. I'm not going to name him at this moment, but I will be. It's nothing to hide. I'm not naming him at this moment. This one particular individual has serious ties to Trump organization, Donald Trump and Donald Trump's organization. Also has to do with 2 Russian banks that are under Alpha Bank is one of them, which Jeff Sessions is tied to Alpha Bank. Okay? His second in command under Jeff Sessions as a senator is very much tied with Alpha Bank, tied to Russia. In putting all this together, Carter Page, all these individuals dealing with this particular one gentleman and 2 others, along with Paul Manafort, were, from what's being said, actually working with the Russians as agents for Russia, as agents of Russia. This is what's going to be coming out. The information, people are singing like birds all over the place because, and if this tape is correct, the tape that they're bringing out, if the tape is true, what I'm saying about the tape is that no one wanted to use email or telephone or any other way to communicate, that the tape, that they made a tape, either without Donald Trump's knowledge or with Donald Trump's knowledge, or they tape recorded a private meeting where in there they were talking about, and this is what they're claiming, they're talking about that Trump team or Trump's without Donald Trump's knowledge or possibly with. I'm not saying yes or either or. I'm telling you what they're saying. That this individual, that Trump worked would if Russia hacked the election, meaning when I say that hacked DNC, they're saying that Russia hacked the DNC servers. That, and this is very key. This is why Pompeo has come out and deemed Pompeo is part of this. He's part of the coup against Donald Trump. Pompeo just came out and said Julian Assange, and that's why I'm trying to play this all into you so you can see the pieces fall together. Pompeo just deemed WikiLeaks as tied to Russia, definitely. Okay? And that WikiLeaks worked with Russia. Russia released the information to WikiLeaks to release about the DNC, which we know is Seth Rich. They're also calling Seth Rich an agent of Russia as well. They're saying that Donald Trump orchestrated via his team, either with his knowledge or without his knowledge, to hack the DNC and thereafter to hack Podesta to help him win the elections. They're saying that information, and they're also saying, wait, let me finish this. This gets better. They're also going to be saying that the information that was on Weiner's laptop, okay? Certain information that was on Weiner's laptop was in fact planted there, okay? Was planted there in order and then forwarded to Comey by the so that the NYPD would find it, forwarded to Comey so that Comey would reopen the Clinton investigation to help Donald Trump in the election. Now, do you hear what I'm saying to you? This all these pieces laying together. I'm telling you what they're going to claim and what they're ready to do. And you'll see it'll all come out. It'll all come out what I'm saying to you. Whether you want to believe me or not, that's fine. But when it comes out, please just say, thanks for being honest, Scott. That's all I care about. Okay? So, they busted these gangsters. They ratted on them. They ratted on the Russian mafia. The Russian mafia mob ratted on some top guys. Russian guys usually don't rat. However, this is huge, and the huge pressure has come down on them. Flynn is desperately seeking to get immunity from the FBI and may have already gotten it without anybody knowing it, because General Flynn is in serious trouble, as I've been saying, and people want to keep defending Flynn. And without Trump knowing it, General Flynn was truly acting and lighting his pockets, not just for Turkey, but for Russia and for a long time. And you have to ask yourself, and I'm a smart guy, okay, and I'm not bragging, I'm not doing it, I'm telling you something. Anybody with any time, I don't care, you could be 15 years old, and ask yourself these questions. How come there is so many Trump team people associated with Russia? And this stuff, certain things are not made up or fabricated. I've confirmed them, others have confirmed them. So when you get, and it's not just it's not just Manafort, it's not just Page, there's other players in here. Sessions is even tied to Russia via the bank. Okay? There's a lot of pieces in play here. Now, Jeff Sessions is the one who recommended to Donald Trump certain people for the international, on the cabinet. As did Flynn. As did Page. They're going to also be bringing in Jared Kushner. Kushner, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with his father. I'm doing a special show called Kushner Unmasked. And I'm going to show you some things and tell you some things that have to do with even Jewish mafia, Italian mafia, what's going on in New York with Kushner, what's going on with international real estate deals, how he's lined his pockets, and how he's a complete liberal, working clearly. And his father, highly well known, incarcerated for major tax evasion at all. There's a group of characters here that is not good. And right now, the information that I'm getting is that Donald Trump is basically being held hostage, so to speak, blackmailed to say, hey, listen, you either do what we tell you to do, that's the neocons, you do what we tell you to do, or we're going to bust this open so bad that, and they're going to do it anyway. I'm telling you now, they're going to do part of it anyway. Will Donald Trump be impeached for this? I don't think the impeachment process will get to that point, because I believe it's going to be somehow, some way, as long as Donald Trump follows through. And you might call me crazy for what I'm telling you, but you'll see. I've yet to be wrong. Pence knows all about this as well. And if you notice, Pence is doing a lot of things that a president would do. Okay, believe it or not, Pence is over in South Korea. He's going on this tour. That's really a president's job. That's what he's doing. Okay? Pence is putting himself more and more up there, and I'm going to say something. A lot of people feasting in D.C. The D.C. neocons, the D.C. Dems, all these people are feasting that when Donald Trump drops, Pence will go in. House Speaker Ryan becomes vice president. And this is where they're going with this, and they can control Pence and Ryan. You know, this is the whole plan here. Because I'm going to say it again to you. Look at where we are ready for war already in less than 100 days with Donald Trump in. Listen, do I agree with destroying ISIS? Sure, but we're the creation of ISIS. We're the creator of ISIS. So to get rid of ISIS, you got to cut off the head of the snake. The head of the snake is the CIA. It's Israel's Mossad. It's Turkey. Okay? Serious players here to get rid of ISIS. If you really want to get rid of ISIS, you cut it off at the head. And we stop funding it through Saudi Arabia and allowing Saudi Arabia and Turkey to keep funding ISIS, filling it with weapons and building it up. And you see, Assad and Putin are winning in Syria, and they couldn't have that. They can't have that. And hence where you saw this chemical attack come up. And they're still pushing this rhetoric about this chemical attack as more and more evidence pops up that it completely was a freaking false flag, fake that there is. I mean, it's faked. It's bullshit, and they're preparing to do another one per Putin and other information circulating on the internet, even a tweet that disappeared, again, from the same man that warned about the chemical attack that happened in Idlib. He's warning that another one is going to happen. You know, everybody says they're still happy than having Hillary. I can't stand Hillary Clinton, but let me ask you all a question here. And I'm still a supporter of Donald Trump. I'm just telling you what they're accusing him of, or what they're going to be accusing Page of, Manafort of, and that there will be arrests coming. Right? This is after, I forgot when I said on the car that this is Congress's week out. So this is the shit's going to hit the fan as soon as Congress gets back. As soon as Congress gets back, the shit is going to hit the fan. And I will probably 99% say Comey will be making his first arrest in this matter that week or soon right thereafter. And most likely it'll be either Flynn or Page or Manafort or all of them at the same time, or maybe some smaller minions into that and then thereafter. Okay? I'm not saying I'm not supporting Donald Trump, but I'm telling you what they are planning on doing and how they're doing this, because the goal has been, since Donald Trump won, to impeach Donald Trump and remove him. That is Obama's and the New World Order's game. That's their end game, because I'm telling you now. They're also, their end game is, if you didn't watch the beginning, I'm telling you, Henry Kissinger, they all say, out of chaos comes what? A New World Order. They're creating chaos around the world, and they're playing with people's lives, and they do not care. We are on the verge of World War III on several fronts. Syria. We're head-to-head also with Iran at the moment. Israel will nuke Iran at the drop of a hat, trust me. The nuclear fallout from nuclear explosions in the world is horrible. Don't kid yourself. We are on the verge of nuclear war in North Korea. And there's now 3 more aircraft carriers going there. And they are putting in and the delay in North Korea, everybody, is this. We do not have our THAAD, our THAAD missile defense system in South Korea yet. Only a few batteries are there. They want to build up the THAAD system in South Korea to fought off any attack by North Korea onto South Korea using the THAAD anti-missile, anti-aircraft system, the THAAD defense system. China is not happy that the THAAD is there, but at the same time, I want to tell everybody this, and I'm telling you how it is. At the same time, because Trump has cut this deal with China, having not to talk about them being currency manipulators, Chinese currency has gone up through the roof, and the dollar is dumped, and stock markets it's hurt international stock markets. The Chinese are the ones benefiting from all of this. And how they're also going to be tying in Kushner to all this is that they're going to say now, and I'm just telling you, it might even have started to hit the internet yet. You could Google and check me, but they're going to say Trump and Kushner have serious business with the Chinese in the United States, and that they're cutting a deal for the new infrastructure that Trump wants to bring into the United States for our whole infrastructure, to rebuild our infrastructure, and listen, I'm telling you, the Chinese own many corporations in America. Many. The Chinese have embedded themselves all these years in the United States. They own the United States, basically. They own our bonds. They own land. They own... Listen. And they're going to bring Kushner into all of this, and Kushner is bad news. There is a plan I'm going to show you that 10 years ago, I have the screen piece. I have to get it. I don't want it. It's not part of it, but I'm going to explain to you what it is. 10 years ago, a Russian, I believe he was a Russian professor from a major university or organization, did what he called the Russian 10-year plan of what the United States would look like. Okay? And the United States on this map shows it cut up. It shows the western states as run by Chinese. It shows the Midwest run by Canada and the United States. And it shows the eastern part controlled by Russia and others, and it shows the western states as controlled by United States and Mexico via another. In other words, they cut the United States up. And right now, believe it or not, I read this guy's whole overview, and it's like quite shocking, and he wrote it 10 years ago. And I'm like, wow. And if you look at it, California's looking to succeed from the United States. You're seeing this complete unrest in the United States and division. You see New World happening, going on here in states, and people fighting amongst themselves. Even Trump supporters fighting amongst themselves. Even Trump supporters, even the right fighting amongst itself. You see the left fighting amongst themselves. You see the left growing bigger and bigger, and our country completely divided. And civil war breaks out, and that's what everybody says. If they impeach Trump or they do this, civil war is going to break out. Da-da-da-da-da. That's exactly what they all want. America, don't get played. Don't get played. Americans need to unite together as do others in the world. Because the New World Order, as I showed you, is in the beginning of this, in that 15-minute segment, is very real. You heard Bush saying it. You hear Obama saying it. Henry Kissinger saying it. These people are pushing New World Order. John McCain pushes it all the time. These wars popping off, these incidences happening all over the world. And we're amassing troops everywhere. We just sent X amount of troops. I know they start out small, but that's how it happens. We just sent troops for the first time to Somalia since the Black Hawk Down incident. We need to all unite as strong. As Alex Jones is telling you, everybody, they're attacking any truthers coming to you bringing truth. I put the information about this missile being taken out. I showed you all on my post that I put the information out that the U.S. interfered with the missile that was exploded. It showed it at 17-hour, whatever it was. I put the pictures up. I was the first one on the internet to mention it at all. I've gotten, you have no idea the flack I've got, meaning where did you get that? How do you know that? Where did this come from? Why is this? They want to silence anything that comes out from anyone. There's articles now going on that Alex Jones is a fraud. There's people putting up that I'm a fraud, that MFA is a fraud. They're attacking us all over the place. That Google wants to shut down Alex Jones. We're all under attack here because they don't want the truth and they're censoring everything on the internet. And it's going to only get worse. Facebook just wiped out, I don't even know how many alleged fake profiles and took out a bunch of other sites at the same time. I do not know. And Alex Jones even today says, everybody stand up, message the president, stand up, organize, do this. I've been saying the same thing. All of us have been trying to say the same thing, and people just don't get it. It's like banging your head against the wall. As people just sit back and go, no, the sky's falling, it's bullshit. No, is it bullshit? Really, let's see what's bullshit. We're going to have 4 aircraft carriers and armadas right off the North Korean coast. Pence just said it. Everyone's just said it. Listen, Trump said it. Little Kim, we're not taking any more of your bullshit. China's got 150,000 plus troops on Korea's border. Russia just put troops on Korea's border and its S-400 system and preparing. We have troops in Jordan as more are already into Syria, 50 miles away from Iranian forces fighting on the ground in Syria as well, and more troops being sent to that region from us. We blasted a Syrian airport for alleged chemical attack that didn't happen. It didn't happen, and the proof is there. The White House report has already been proven false. You have Turkey. Erdogan just won by robbing the votes, and he put in more. They're turning into a freaking, monster. You have Iran saying with Russia, if you attack us, if you touch Assad's forces again in Syria, we're going to strike you back. We're now in Somalia. We're in Iraq. We just dropped the biggest bomb next to a nuclear bomb missile in Afghanistan. We're all over the place. Now they want to send more troops, and they will be sending more troops to Afghanistan. More troops to Iraq. Troops in Syria. The European theater, let's not forget the biggest buildup of troops ever surrounding Russia in Poland at all, around the whole massive amounts of troops and hardware. And just so you know that we have hardware all ready to go and set to launch into Syria at a moment's notice along with troops as well. People say, oh, that's great, let's take them all out, until your family starts to come home in body bags, because this war is not about protecting the United States. Understand this. The only exception to that is North Korea, so to speak. But the rest, and that's all part of it as well. But there was a 7-part plan put into place. It was supposed to be done in 5 years, that it did not. And General Wesley Clark is the one who put it out and told everybody about it. That is to destabilize and rip apart the Middle East and eventually destroy Iran. All this is great. Everybody says, oh, this is wonderful. But guess what? Not me, not you, not anyone else benefits from any of this. Not at all. You know who benefits? Who benefits? Do you all know who benefits from this? These sick, psycho, globalists, Obama, the Rothschilds. They'll take control of these countries. Remember, Iran, North Korea, Syria, Russia. None of them have the banking cartels in their countries. Everybody's forgetting about the financial fallout that's going to come from all these wars. Already, China's benefiting from this, from just the words of Donald Trump, who said he couldn't stand and tolerate that the manipulation of Chinese currency and that they're stealing our jobs. Just by him not saying the words, or not deeming China a a currency manipulator, the Chinese yen is through the roof. Do your homework and check what I'm telling you. Madness. Madness. And people are cheering this on. No, you have McMaster's, Mattis, Pompeo running the country. They're ordering troops up all over the place. I want to bring you to a very particular article. Give me 1 second. All right, let me bring you to this first. Let me bring you to something very important first. And it's about this alleged tape. I'm not going to tell you or show you where this is coming from, and that's my choice. But I'm going to show you what's being said. Sources with links to the intelligence community say it is believed that Carter Page went to Moscow in early July, carrying with him a pre-recorded tape of Donald Trump offering to change American policy if he were to be elected, to make it more favorable to Putin. In exchange, Page was authorized directly by Trump to request the help of the Russian government in hacking the election. Now, do I believe this? I'm saying no at this point. However, as I told you about the mafia ties, everything else that's going on, a lot of information is coming out having to do with Alpha Bank, money laundering, Russian ties, even before the election. And if you remember, about a month ago, Comey said he was expanding, you can Google me, he was expanding the Trump investigation to not just from the beginning, in the middle of the summer during the campaign in 2016. He wanted to go back to 2014 on. Okay, so the FBI has expanded its investigation into Trump and associates to all the way back into 2014. And at the time I said, I'm wondering why they're doing that. I thought they're looking to try to find anything they could to make it up, when in fact there actually is serious ties having to do with several corporations, several deals at all. And this is not stuff that one person is writing about. This is stuff that you put the facts together and bring it after you get information, and then you see it, and then you go, whoa, and then it comes to light. On November 7th, it was reported that the FBI had been granted a FISA warrant to investigate the activities of two Russian banks. I point out to you, Alpha Bank and Silicon Valley Bank, but Alpha Bank is highly tied to Jeff Sessions. Okay? I'll explain why. Reported that an early attempt to obtain a FISA warrant in June had failed in the court because it named Donald Trump himself and three of his associates. In an exclusive at Patriobotics, the writer reported that these named associates were Carter Page, Paul Manafort, and Boris Epstein. Okay, this name is key. Boris Epstein has not been mentioned very much, especially in the mainstream media. Sources close to the intelligence community now report that this application was made because of recording exists of three men discussing the possibility of Page taking the tape of Trump to Moscow in earnest of good faith. There's a minor dispute over whether Trump himself is also on the tape, as well as the tape that was delivered to Moscow by Carter Page of Trump making this promise. A separate source with links to the intelligence community reported to me several months ago that Boris Epstein, alone of the four men named in the first FISA application, this is all correct, I've verified this that I'm telling you, is an actual FSB agent, okay? FSB agent, and the source said is the son of two other sleeper agents. Paul Manafort is registered as an agent of foreign power. Carter Page has admitted from public reporting to have met with Russian intelligence agents, and he has. It may therefore be surmised that Page, Manafort, and Epstein in this conversation wherein they discussed taking the Trump tape to Moscow, were all acting in concert as agents of Russia state first and foremost, and Trump staffers second. This is what they're going to go on. Because his provision of such a tape to Putin would be clearly the ultimate in compromat on a future American president, far worse than any sexual blackmail tape. The FISA judge, as reported, rejected that application made in June. Director Comey likely provided to the satisfaction of the court that Page, Manafort, and Epstein were acting as Russian agents. But he may have felt that Trump, by now, the nominee at that time, was just very stupid patsy, and that planned a trip had not taken place. As I said, there still is no concrete proof that Trump knew about this. This is what they're going to use, though, to get to Trump, and there's other stuff that is tied to Trump having to do with Jared Kushner, banking deals, Jewish connections, etc. This is huge. So what I'm going to do is put this all together like on a big board like the FBI does, and I'm going to point it all out and put all the ties together, and including the ties to the left elitists with Obama, and I'm going to put this all together, and I'm going to show everybody. I'm actually going to go buy a massive whiteboard to do this on, and then I'm going to take it and put it on the computer screen as well, but it has to be laid out because this is huge. And also the deep state doing this is huge as well to bring this all together, so I'm going to expose both. Director Comey redrew this request and presented the FISA warrant with a new warrant, the FISA judge with a new warrant. The Washington Post says that there is a FISA warrant on Page, but it doesn't say that there is not a FISA warrant on their other two men named in the June application. We will therefore assume from now on that the July FISA warrant granted targets Page, Manafort, and Epstein. Page had always seemed weirdly confident about his relationship with Trump. He had the tape of Mr. Trump offering to change policy. Sources say that this tape was played in meetings with Russian intelligence officers in Moscow, and that several Western intelligence sources have recordings of the meetings, and that the tape, which they supplied to U.S. intelligence. The Washington Post does not name the date in July when Director Comey obtained his warrant. It seems likely, however, it would not have been before July 5th or 8th when Page was in Russia. And Page was in Russia in July. He's already admitted this. Furthermore, the writer says the separate FISA warrant granted on the two Russian banks states that Director Comey specifically sought permission to examine existing transcripts and intercepts on U.S. persons as they related to this inquiry into money laundering into the Trump campaign. I'm going to leave that highlighted right there. Now, I bring to you the New York State Attorney General. The New York State Attorney General is currently investigating Donald Trump. He's the same one that went after Trump for Trump University. He hates Trump. Is currently investigating. He's the one that also aided in the arrest of the banana crime figures, the Russian mafia figures. They've been working hand in hand with the FBI and the intelligence agencies. A state now, under a RICO Act, the state has its own RICO Act for organized crime, can bring charges against Trump at all. Okay? This guy wants Trump's head on the platter. And they don't need a lot of evidence to do it. All they need to get a grand jury indictment is prima facie case. What that means is just certain ties to show a pattern, even though it could be a harmless pattern. And people go, well, New York State Attorney General has no jurisdiction. I don't know where they're coming from. New York State, and this is their answer. This was their back end to get to Trump and team by using the New York State Attorney General, who's also very, very close with the Clintons. I mean, extremely close that he's so far up the Clintons' ass, they probably taste him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sorry for the gross analogy, but that's what I'm telling you. Okay? This is where it's coming from. and meaning where the New York State Attorney General is heading. The November 7th report directly connects the granting of the banking warrant, and this is correct. All this that I'm reading you is correct and verified. Connects the granting of the banking warrant to election hacking of the DNC. This is where they are trying to say that Russia, via Trump, hacked the DNC. It is fairly to say at the time of writing, I did not understand precisely how these two matters were connected. I now know and have reported that the server was washing databases, this is key, databases of DNC hacked materials with voter registration materials. It is clear that if sources are correct, Director Comey would not have been able to listen to the recording of Mr. Trump played by Mr. Page in the offices of Russian intelligence in Moscow until he obtained that warrant in October. And he got that FISA warrant in October, has been reported by several news outlets. July warrant on Page came too late to affect Page's trip July through the 5th through the 7th to Russia, so they did not have a FISA warrant on Page at that time. When Carter Page returned to the RNC in Cleveland, and here it is, please listen to this. He and Jeff Sessions, now, right here, Jeff Sessions, I verify, who recruited him, Jeff Sessions recruited Page, him to Trump team via Alpha Bank lobbyist, and Alpha Bank is a Russian bank, and that's the one that's in the warrant, and it's been talked about, Richard Burt. Both met with the Russian spy master Sergei Kislyak. Key, everybody knows who Kislyak is, right? Okay. From public reporting, we know that they not only changed the RNC platform on Ukraine at the behest of Russia, but also discussed lifting sanctions, a violation of the Logan Act. So here's where everybody is trying to figure out how they can get Donald Trump or Trump team. There's something called the Logan Act. The Logan Act is it's a serious law, and they're claiming that they violated it. I don't want to get into the whole specifics of the Logan Act, but I can at another time. Mr. Epstein was probably also present at that meeting. The reason I say this is that I can personally report that Mr. Epstein, who I have met several times in the green room at Fox News, and I had a bet on, I bet him $100 that the Republican Party would not actually nominate, they're calling him the racist, sexist Donald Trump. They're saying that. I'm not. I lost the bet, made it the point of texting Mr. Epstein at the conference to pay up. He was charming. I handed him over $100. He went back to Trump's private suite. He's claiming that Epstein is a sleeper agent of the FSB. But I could not hear that what Mr. Epstein, Mr. Page, Mr. Manafort, or Mr. Kislyak were discussing with the Russian ambassador behind the door of Trump's suite. He was present at this gentleman. The FBI most certainly could. For right now, the intelligence sources say that Page, Manafort, and Epstein, possibly also with Trump, are on a tape discussing how Page should carry out a recording of Donald Trump to Moscow, offering his bona fides in exchange for Russia's hacking the election, and that the said tape of Trump was played by Page to Russian intelligence, possibly including Mr. Divyankin, the Russian official in charge of hacking the election. This is who they're claiming, and everybody said, Scott, you're not going to have this guy's not going to be brought back to the United States. Well, okay. And that multiple foreign intelligence services, among them the UK, Germany, and Ukraine, have tapes of this. So this is not just, and as Judge Napolitano said, from British intelligence, Germany intelligence, and Ukraine intelligence are all in on this with the FBI. Okay? And they have intelligence of Page, Manafort, others, and allegedly they have copies of this tape. America. Okay, listen. You guys want to disagree amongst yourselves. You want to do what you want to do. That's wonderful. That's what they want. Okay? That's what globalist Obama et al. Team wants. They want you to fight amongst yourselves. Nobody can change the truth. The truth is the truth. USA military Black Hawk just crashed in Maryland. I'm sure it was just a accident, meaning Black Hawks are known to have many accidents in training, while training, etc. So I'm just saying, people fighting amongst themselves and this to support this. Americans have to put America first. Around the world, people have to put their country first, and they need to be educated on what the truth is. Because as I tried to tell everybody, you hear people, I trust my government. I trust my government. What? You should never trust your government. And right now, this situation is not looking good at all. People have got to come together and unite as Americans for America. I'm still a Trump supporter. I'm just bringing you the information that I know. And when it's my time to be ready, I will tell you if I am no longer going to support Donald Trump. At this moment, MFA and myself, we support Donald Trump. If I see from the evidence that I'm getting, and I'm talking even mafia information, and I said there's certain things I could say and not say if you haven't watched the beginning of this video where I show you this where all this started from, so to speak, and that part. Because there's much more to all this. This is just the first half of this. And I'm telling you now, you will see this week, a lot of this is taking place, but Congress is not back. And they're going to wait for Congress to get back. They may not. But Comey's going to start making arrests almost, I'll say, 85, 90% the following week. I was shocked about Sessions too. The more I investigate the rabbit hole having to do with Alpha Bank, Jeff Sessions has a lot of ties to Russia. Jeff Sessions is the one who recommended to Donald Trump, his international team, as well as others, on the campaign trail. Okay? So this is what I'm saying to you. I was even shocked about Sessions. And I'm digging into that deeper, MFA Underground, and you're going to say, I want to make a note to everybody. You're going to see a new page pop up, MFA Underground Facebook page, official. You're going to see the MFA secret group, not the old one, the new one that's tied to the new website, up. We have a lot of people coming to this march here in DC, on Saturday. We are raising funds. MFA Arizona is taking off. They have huge turnout coming for Arizona. They've done a great job. There is an MFA official Arizona page up. You're going to see MFA Florida page up. You're going to see MFA New York page up. You're going to see MFA California up. You're going to see MFA Texas up. All these we now are opening across the country. Official MFA Facebook pages, Twitter pages, and all for each of the areas that for each of our MFA outreach organizations. We are building it huge. Cannot locate the Arizona page. Just go into Facebook search bar, type in MFA, March for America, Arizona. It'll come right up. Jean Marie, I'm not sure Sessions is good. I don't make judgments like that until I read facts. I don't say anybody's good until I see facts. Okay? I'm a factualist. I don't go on rhetoric. I don't go on that. If I find out, and I'm telling you, and I'm going to show it to you again, you're going to find out. And it's factual information that Jeff Sessions recommended page to Trump. Jeff Sessions has recommended many of Trump's team to Trump. Jeff Sessions is definitely tied to Alpha Bank, just so you know. His second in command is on Alpha Bank's board. Alpha Bank is the one that's been subject of a FISA warrant and ties with Russia. Fact. These are all facts I'm laying out with you. I don't like when people sugarcoat things. You're entitled to your own opinions, but don't turn away from the truth. That's the problem. Too many people turn away from the truth. Stop believing fake news sites. Stop freaking feeding into all the bullshit. There's a major situation here, and it's coming. And it's huge. Trust what I'm telling you. There's a shitstorm coming. And they fought him to get him in hard. Yes, they did. What does that mean? I'm just telling you for a fact. I'm just telling you for a fact it was Jeff Sessions who recommended Page. Page is going down. No matter, I'm telling you, Page is dirty. Page is going to go down. They're going to arrest and indict him. And I'm telling you now, the information is coming out that there is concrete evidence of collusion. They're going to ask and demand for a special prosecutor. There could be a grand jury, and none of us would know right now. Sealed grand jury indictment going on with Comey. Nobody would know. Even Sessions had to recuse himself from Russia. And I'm going to tell you something. Jeff Sessions recused himself from Russia for one reason. I'm going to tell you why. So that he could distance himself from it. Fact. Sessions is the one who recommended Page. That's the truth. Google what I'm telling you. You'll see it from everywhere. It's there. Carter Page was Trump's campaign advisor for the longest time. For the longest time. Serious ties to Russia. He's been all over the news, interviews, everything. No, Katina, he's not going to expose any. This is what. I want to throw my hat. These people, just like Comey let Clinton walk, you're all on fairy tales if you believe, you're believing in fairy tales. If you believe that that Hillary Clinton is going to go to jail, think again. If you think she's protected by our CIA, and now it seems that Pompeo is for the other side. All these people are showing their true colors. Pompeo just came out and smashed WikiLeaks and said, and this is why, they're going to blame Russia for the interference of the election and that Trump colluded with Russia to do it. I've been telling people this for freaking months since Trump got elected. I actually called it before that. Yes, they can impeach if we are at war. I played the 15-minute video in the opening of this, so if you're turning in, please re-watch that so you can understand what New World Order is and what Obama's endgame is. This is not a joke. This is not a conspiracy. This is happening, what's happening, and I've been saying it for almost the past year. We are at a critical turning point in the history of the world, not just the United States, the world. The globalists have opened up what they want to do, and they're controlling all these pieces. We're about to go to war everywhere. Everywhere, pretty much, in our main key players, and Russia's getting surrounded. Putin's always the bad guy. Russians now going to be accused of hacking and interfering with our elections. I've tried to spell this out and show it to everybody. And I'm telling you, I got concrete proof from our people here. I'm going to show you again, right here. I know exactly what's going on, but I'm limited to what I'm saying, and I will not do that. I'm not a rat. Okay, I'm not a rat. I'll share information. I've got nothing to hide from the feds. They can come see me. I don't care, but I'm not a rat. All right, and I know how this works. And this is how it is. This is all. I'm going to be doing another show. Okay, I'm probably going to do it tonight to show you the other phase of this, having to do with where they're at investigating and exposing Kushner, okay, and some very big business deals that have to do, and loans at all from Russian banks and of that nature, and serious things that went down right before Trump took and swore the inauguration on what Kushner did, okay? Kushner is dirty. His father's seriously dirty, okay? And his father's got ties to Russia as well. Yes, Marty, very well said. How many governments has the CIA taken down? And they're taking down our government. That's the Obama's endgame. It's not just here in America. Remember what Henry Kissinger said. Out of chaos comes a new world order. In other words, you create such big problems around the world and in your own thing that you have to create a whole new order to control it. Do you follow what I'm saying? And right now I can honestly report and I hate reporting this and saying this, but neocons have control of Donald Trump. They have control of him. From McMaster to Mattis to Pompeo. That's why they're forcing out Bannon. Bannon is the only one in there with the clear conscience, and I'm going to tell you, they're not going to make it nice for Bannon. And you know, Trump even threw him under the bus too, which I did not like when he did his interview. He's like, well, you know, Steve helped out with somewhat of this and that. That man helped him win the election. And I'm seeing a side of Donald Trump that I don't like, and I'm being honest with you. I still support him, but there's a side there that I'm not liking when you throw people under the bus that helped you get somewhere. I do not like that. These are serious. Bannon helped him win the election. Bannon helped him. And they're now trying to destroy Bannon. Do you all understand? Everybody's trying to believe that there's some great good in this swamp. Anybody who goes to D.C. and gets into this swamp area gets sucked in. They suck down. They may go there with good intentions. They may go there with good intentions. But you know what? Quickly, they get sucked into this very horrible, corrupt swamp. And I've seen that swamp. I've seen it in small towns. I've seen it everywhere, what they do, what small town politicians do, small town reporters do. Anything to cover their shit up, to how the local police departments do. And this is not against good police officers, because there's millions of them. I'm just saying. This is what they do. Gillis, be careful. There's some trolls on here. So just be careful what you're doing with your information, my man. And you know what? I'm angry. You want to know why I'm angry? And I'll be honest. I'm going to be straight honest. I'm angry because for a year, I stood up for Donald Trump. I stood up for getting this man in the White House. We all did. March and October that we carried out, went through extreme stunts, lots of things to do, etc. If I find out from the information that I'm getting, and I already knew about his mafia ties and things like that, that shit's meaningless to me. I don't care about that. That means nothing to me. Because you have those ties in the construction industry, Atlantic City, all that other shit, that's meaningless. Good president, I don't care. JFK had his ties. His father was all tied, you know, to the Irish mafia and whatever. And listen, that's all BS to me. What matters to me is if there is true concrete proof, and I don't mean something made up or fabricated by the intelligence agencies or the above, but if there is concrete proof that Donald Trump has acute ties to Russia, and there's one angle, I haven't talked to you about the main angle yet, and it comes down through Jewish centers across the globe who are very close, and the rabbi, there's a chief rabbi that's very close to Donald Trump and Kushner, that's very close with Putin, and they believe the rabbis from this organization are the ones that have been communicating this information. If I find out, and that person, just so you know, is tied with the Jewish mafia, if I find out that that's true and that we've been played, I'm going to tell the whole world, because I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to be furious, as are millions of Americans. Yes, Mike. Please explain what you're saying. They have the New World Order has think tanks. They have billions of dollars. They put all this together. They strategize this. They strategize what's going on in the world right now, and they're creating out of chaos. Okay, out of a chaos. So they create the chaos around the globe. Becomes what? That's how the UN was formed, if people remember how the United Nations came about. They create these global events, and they create all these then we can get into, they'll create these dramatic events and this you know. What did I tell you all about who David Brock is? In my show tonight, I'm actually going to make a note, because I'm going to show and expose who David Brock is. David Brock is the man responsible. I want you to pay attention. Bill Clinton can be a scumbag. Bill Clinton can be a rapist. Bill Clinton can do whatever. But I'm going to explain to you something. I'll ask you this. Where did Monica Lewinsky's scandal come from? Does anybody know? If you want to control a president or anybody in a political, whether it be a senator, a congressman, or anything, what's the best way to control them? If you don't have dirt on them to blackmail them, or if that doesn't work, or you don't have something, you create, and this is how public corruption works. If they want you, they will create a situation from something, make it go viral using controlled media, make it go viral to the point that the person that they're attacking has to give in and do what they want, or they implode them. I give you Bill Clinton and the Monica Lewinsky scandal. War was imminent in Yugoslavia at that time. Bill Clinton did not want to go into Yugoslavia or have anything for us to do with Yugoslavia. Please fact check me. The Monica Lewinsky scandal, they took advantage of. David Brock used to work for the Republicans. He now is very close with the Clintons, even though the Clintons know and used him, that he's the best. He's one of the best to create something from nothing. Okay? To create a scenario from nothing. They used the Monica Lewinsky scandal knowing, and they told Clinton, you do X, Y, and Z, you get us here, you go and order this and do this. We will make sure you're not impeached. You'll just go through the process and you will not be fully impeached. You'll have to take this, this, and this. They created the shitstorm to control what the president did. Are we understanding this? This is how JFK was even controlled, and then he finally stood up to Hoover. They were trying to control Hoover and Johnson were trying to control JFK because JFK had promiscuous affairs. Whoopie-doo. Have a nice day. If the man's a good president, be a president, screw whoever you want. I could care less. Okay? And that's where people get bogged down with all this bullshit. It doesn't matter. If the person's a good president, they're going to follow and not be a New World Order president, I'm all for it. I don't care if you're screwing cows, goats, and chickens in a field on the White House lawn. I don't care. As long as you're a president, you're going to protect this country and put America first, wonderful. Bang away. Okay? Hoover and them tried to control Kennedy. Kennedy told them all to pack their shit. Okay? Hoover knew he wasn't going to be appointed for the FBI. Look at the similarities here between JFK's situation. We had Hoover as head of the FBI. We have Comey as head of the FBI, right? Comey's on the opposite side. All right? Comey's controlled. Comey's Clinton. McCabe, second in command, same thing. Hoover, totally against JFK, controlling, has information, working with Johnson and others. Okay? You have to look at this. The same situation we had Cuba going on with Russia, the Russian situation with the Bay of Pigs. We have Donald Trump now with Russia, okay, with the interference of our elections. It led Russia in Syria, Russia. Now Donald Trump has North Korea, where Kennedy had Russia in the Bay of Pigs situation. So Trump's got both crazy, all created by who? The CIA. If anybody knows anything about the Bay of Pigs, CIA. And right now, just so you know, I didn't get a chance to say it, they're talking in the works right now. If you remember, the CIA created an invasion force to go into Cuba to overthrow Castro. Does everybody remember this? Okay. If you don't, Google it. Right now, and it was going to be part of my show later, but I'll tell you now. Right now in the works is there to create a special invasion force to go into North Korea to take out Kim. It's almost identical to what happened with Kennedy with the Bay of Pigs, and that was a slaughter, by the way, when we did that. It was a slaughter. Okay? With the Bay of Pigs. It was bad. It was bad. It's very bad. So, you're in these same situations. And, people are focusing on all these other things that have nothing to do with the bigger picture. They're like, well, Page didn't do that, or Manafort's this, or Trump wouldn't do that, or, I'm like, for real? Or they'll focus on whatever. We're going to do this. We just dropped a big bomb. Listen, we have troops and shit all over the place. And Obama's sitting in the safest place in the hemisphere right now. If there's a nuclear war, Obama's in one of the safest places in the hemisphere. Yes, the CIA have been trying to take over Syria since 1949 in that area. Okay, I shared a very good article that was up there having to do with what WikiLeaks exposed with Syria and the history of Syria. They don't talk about ISIS in that, but that. Yes, Amber, I agree with you. It's just very frustrating. Yes, Mike. They do not. None of these countries have world banks. None of these things. And I'm telling you now, there's some serious information breaking about China. These deals with China, Ivanka coming out with Kushner's ties with China, heavy-duty business ties, and they're not false. They're true. There's so much news for me to report on all this, I don't even know where to. I'm organizing it the way it should be for what's priority and what's not. And I'm telling you now, they're seeking to just overthrow and obliviate North Korea. However, the deal is I do not think China and Russia are going to permit that. And we have to look out for them so we do not spark. But if it's up to McMaster and Mattis at all, we would be at war with Russia, North Korea, inside Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq all at the same time. And that's why we're massing troops beyond any Cold War era time on Russia's borders through Poland at all, okay? Why we're now massing troops and for armadas and troops in South Korea and armadas in the sea. 3 more aircraft carriers going to North Korea. Now we have Syria and we have troops. We have more troops that have gone into Iraq. They're fighting right alongside Iranian troops. Iran has said one more strike on Syria by the United States, and I can assure you, Iran and Russia are not fucking around. Excuse my French, but they're not. Russia has just put in, I told you it's new, it's called Buck M3. The Buck M3 is supposed to be the most deadliest anti-missile system on the planet. For them to move this new, very expensive, sophisticated hardware to Syria, and the reason for them doing this is now that we sent over 59 cruise missiles, and just so you know, it's a fact, only 24 hit, the rest were shot down or malfunctioned, but the rest were shot down by Russia's S-400 system. That's a lot of missiles that were taken down. That's 30 some odd missiles taken down by the S-400 system. So now Putin's adding more hardware there, more sophisticated hardware to control the skies over Syria and to protect it. And now they know how to get to our cruise missiles. There's a major proxy war being going on there. Saudi Arabia ripping it and benefiting from this whole thing. It's all behind Israel. You have Israel's Mossad, HQ at a UK, Turkey, and here I'm telling you now, Turkey just turned its back on Russia. Watch what I tell you. Okay? Erdogan, everybody better watch Erdogan in Turkey because they are amassing their troops and military and on Syria's border. We are in there. We went in through the Jordanian side and we have tons of equipment that's sitting there and ready to go. And it was brought over by ships and is still being brought over as we speak. There are troops going everywhere. You know, and I'm going to end on this. There's these people, they don't care about you and I. Okay? Globalists don't care about you and I. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, and they're real. These are not, I think I'm going to do a show on New World Order to really explain it to you and show it to you. So people understand. Council of Foreign Relations, who's on that? John McCain. John McCain comes out and tells everybody, New World Order's been around for 60 years and it's time we have more New World Order takes over. This is John McCain now. I don't know, people, it's been shown to you and given to you over and over again. It just seems that Americans are thick-headed or they wait to the last minute or when the shit gets so bad that they have no choice. That's not how it should work. And I'm going to say something else. I want to put on the record today. These tax marchers, when Donald Trump tweeted out that they were paid for, he's talking that the organizations, and now that tweet is getting him in trouble, by the way, and I'm going to explain to you why. The organizations that created the tax march, including the Women's March is attached to that as well. The organizations that created the tax march were paid, meaning set up by Soros et al. What he's not saying and not meaning by that is that 100,000 plus people were not paid individually to march. So please understand this. So now they're knocking him for this, saying what? Everybody got paid in the march? Is that what you're saying? Hundreds of thousands of people got a paycheck? Because they did not. Okay? What he was saying is that they were paid, that they created the march via paid, okay? After that, as I've always said, they are created by they're backed by Soros et al., David Brock's, Obama's teams. They're all got some ties one way or the other. But the people marching in them are not paid individually. They didn't get paychecks. They paid the organizers. And then, once they start off, the donations came from the individuals on the left. I'm going to tell you something. I did something yesterday, and I took it off my Twitter, because I wanted to see something. Now, everybody knows I'm on Twitter as I'm all pro-Trump. I put something up that was against Donald Trump. Okay? I'm just telling you. I did it as a test. Do you know, I took it off because I'm not going to keep it there. I did it as a test. Do you know how many leftist, liberal, Democrats jumped on that post and then started to message me? What's MFA? What's your cause? What's this? We want to help. We want to do this. I'm not kidding you. I'll do it live on a video if next time and put it up on there and put it on Twitter just to show you how these people want in against Donald Trump. When is the right going to want in to protect this country and the American people? And people work together because it's the people who can control all of this. But the government wants you to think, and the globalists want you to think that you have no power. They want you to live in fear. They don't want you to stand up. They don't want you to write your congressman. They don't want you to write the president. They don't want you to write senators. They don't want you to do all these things. They don't want you to do email blasts. They don't want you to do, write articles of the truth. They don't want you to do these things. The people have the power. But guess what? Years and years of being dumbed down, surmised. Okay, here. Take your shit, believe it. And people, I'm going to say it, the right is lazy. The left, I'm so sick of hearing they're paid to do this. They don't have jobs. That's a bunch of horse shit. It's a bunch of bullshit. They don't have jobs. They don't have this. Is that your excuse on the right side? Is that your excuse to yourself not to do something, to stand up? Not to help and support your country and protect your family's future? Because just so you know, a lot of these home agendas, Ryan, I'm telling you, they're going to try to smash Trump's wall. Okay? Healthcare's going nowhere. Healthcare's going nowhere. Term limits going nowhere. China, international policy, let's not get involved in other wars. We're in other wars. We're in other countries. China, that great, horrible country not to deal with, we're best friends with. And you know what? We're not manipulating. They're not manipulating their currency. They're helping us with North Korea. Guess who's getting played in all of this? As I said, China is benefiting. People better open their eyes. And guess what? They are calling for more money and more troops, for more military, which I believe building the military is correct and building it strong. But not when you're going to start sticking it all over the place to be in wars we don't belong in and put Americans in jeopardy on a battlefield that we don't belong on. North Korea, I agree, Kim's got to go. But that's everybody's problem. So you need a coalition together to get rid of Kim. And that's the right way to do Kim. Okay? Because he not only affects the United States, he affects Japan. He affects even Russia. He affects even China. regardless or not. They affect the whole region. But see, China will not allow that to go. So trust me, China could flip its switch on us in 2 seconds. That's how world wars break out. They start at the simplest things, and then shit hits the fan. China will not allow the United States to take over North Korea. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's bad enough that South Korea to them is loaded up with everything that we have, let alone us wanting to put nukes on South Korean soil. China will not put up with that either. Russia does not want that. Then Russia will be surrounded on all sides. Yes, Joel, we have been in jeopardy since World War I. And let's remember, World War I started with a gunshot. I hope everybody knows that. World War I started with a gunshot. And people, here it is, people on the right are fighting, people are split, people are hating, people are doing all this, and all these haters, and all these people against, and these people against hate. Do something for your country. Do something to make this better place. Do something to expose the real corruption from these that's going on in our government. Stop, and then the leftists coming after ourselves, Alex Jones. They're coming. I'm telling you, they're censoring everything. Facebook is horrible. Yes, it is confirmed. Chopper down. Black Hawk helicopter with 3 crew members aboard is down. Yes, Joanne, they are using our troops, our people, our troops, your tax dollars, and everything to fight their globalistic wars. So my point, and you know what? These people who were recommended to Trump that are surrounding him now, they're all shot. They're all shot. Pompeo's giving him false information, I'm telling you right now. And that chemical attack, they know it. They know it's false. It's not going away, though. That's not going away. Yes, using our money for their agenda. Linda, if the video's spinning, that's on your end with your Wi-Fi. That's not a Facebook. That's your Wi-Fi may have slowed down or something. That's what's happened. This is just massive. And the fallout of this, and Kim, I was right on the money. The United States interfered and jammed that missile. So they're not concerned with this missile system at this moment from Kim because they can handle it. So now they're preparing. I'm telling you, they are going to prepare because they believe Kim's going to. If Kim does a nuclear test, regardless of what China says, under Mattis and McMaster, they will advise Trump to smash Korea. The fallout from that alone, and I agree, Kim needs to go, but there's other ways to do it, and I don't mean by sanctions either. Okay? But if you're going to hit North Korea, you better hit it and get out. No troops, no nothing. Leave everybody on the south side. Knock them right out. I mean, knock them out. Take them out. Trump has been very quiet on lots of things, if you've not noticed. His demeanor has completely changed. Look at someone's demeanor. He's changed on lots of things. The neocons own him. Trust what I'm telling you. The neocons own him. And the shit's about to hit the fan with the Russia Gate situation. And then China will go ballistic because Chinese, I'm telling you, this is just a bad situation. And I wish... Here's the problem. If we would adjust this whole situation with Russia, we really need Russia as a friend. Meaning, when I say a friend, listen, no more with the bullshit. Russia now is going to help Iran. Is going to continue to help Iran to protect itself. This Iranian deal from Obama, This was all part of this to create what? Chaos. From chaos comes New World Order. As I showed you in the beginning of this show, you must watch it from the beginning. Henry Kissinger. And who's been in Trump's ear? Middle of the campaign, Henry Kissinger goes and meets with China. Henry Kissinger's China's man. Okay? He comes home, he comes back from China, doesn't even hit the dirt, and where does he go? Trump Tower. Okay, during the campaign and right towards the end, towards election. It's midsummer, I think, right at the end of the summer, beginning of fall. Goes right to Trump Tower for a private meeting. I brought it up on my show. I said, this is not good. Henry Kissinger is meeting with Trump in private. He's Mr. New World Order globalist himself, the man. And Kissinger, close with Obama and all the globalist players. And I have a bombshell for you. So anybody just tuning in, I do have a bombshell for you. And I want you to remember my ties in New York and to organized crime. Okay? As I brought up in the beginning, you can check that out at scottbinsackstayingreal.com. The link is above my video. Rudy Giuliani. There is a very high probability, okay, that Rudy Giuliani, and the reason why Rudy did not take the position that Trump wanted him to take is because he knew he was going to be investigated, from head to toe, let's say. And I'm only going to say something because I like Rudy, and Rudy's attached to some people that I know in New York, i.e. Italians. I'm going to tell you this. There is a high probability that Rudy Giuliani has flipped. Okay? Just remember you heard it here first. In other words, and this is how this works. If Rudy did something himself with his businesses, with Russia and other people, and they caught him doing something wrong, they would quietly bring him in and say, Rudy, this is what we have on you. How can you help us with Trump et al. Team? So I'm letting you know this is how it works, and this is how the FBI works. Okay? No, they have not threatened to kill Barron. Okay? They have not threatened to kill Barron. Please do not hide behind things that you don't think that Trump knows what's going on here. Trump knows. Okay? There's been no threats on Barron, none of this crap. This is not what's happening here. What's happening here is that the truth of many things is coming out, and whether Trump knew or not is the key. And as I said, I'm an avid Trump supporter. I will stay that way. We have a huge march, but I'm marching for America. Okay? I'm marching, and MFA is for America, and will be here longer than Trump is. Okay? Yes, Rudy has not been seen anywhere, and I'm telling you that information is solid. Solid. I haven't even put it on Twitter yet. There's lots of blackmail going on, lots of things happening, but I'm telling you what, there's a lot of corruption that took place and a lot of illegal dealings in businesses that took place, and they're being exposed. And that's what's coming in with all of this. So, like I said, I'm going to tell the information I have. If I find out if I'm wrong, I'll tell you. I try to make sure everything I say is correct. I'm not perfect. Don't expect to be. But I do care about what I say to put out there. But I do know this for a fact. I know about Rudy well. I know the organized crime ties in New York. Rudy is well connected. He knows many people. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going into anything else. Not my place, nor will I. No, Rudy has not been seen on Fox or anywhere for a long time. There's a lot going on and a lot coming out. And these people, this is how this works. If you did something in business, we'll say Rudy, we'll say anybody. We'll say even Trump, okay? But we'll take Rudy as an example. We'll just say he did a business deal overseas, and maybe he did it and did some back-end deals to get a bigger profit or something like that. white collar BS stuff, okay? Nothing of any major substance, really, honestly. However, the feds or the attorney general will take some information like that and say, you know what, Rudy, we could charge you with this, this, and this if you don't help us. So will you help us, or we're going to knock you off? Okay? So this is how it works. I know how it worked with the Banana crime boss that I was around, and they came to me and said, Scott, we don't have anything to charge you with, and we can help you with the Pennsylvania situation if you do X, Y, and Z. I'm not a rat, though, and I got lied to about certain things. And I got played by the feds. And when I found out about it, I said, nope, not happening. I know exactly how this works. And then my mother died, and they wouldn't let me go to my mother's funeral, and that's how I met my daughter's mom, Christine. She worked with helping the FBI as the head of her hotel where they had me up under a different name. She comes out in my book. She comes out in our videography to attest to this, and this is how I had my daughter, my beautiful daughter Brittany. So some out of I have a huge story to tell, and I've seen this corruption. I know how these feds work, and I know how the attorney general is going to work, and I know the information I'm getting having to do with Page, Manafort, the RICO Act, Russian mafia, as I discussed in the beginning of this, to the Jewish mafia, and there's a whole other side of this yet. There's still a whole other side I have not discussed. And I'm going to break all this down. I'm telling you, I have a march coming up. The news is breaking so fast, there's not enough way to cover it. I might as well sit. And by the way, everybody, I will shoot videos from wherever I want. I'll shoot them from my car. I'll shoot them from my bathroom. I'll shoot them from my shower if I want to. I will shoot from wherever I go. Okay? And that's that. I'll shoot videos from wherever the fuck I want to. That's end of story. All right? End of story. I don't care. That's that. All right? I don't answer to anybody but God. End of story. That's that. These haters are out to destroy my reputation, MFAs. They're trying to destroy Alex Jones's reputation. They're trying to get him off Google. They're trying to get us. I saw a video sent to me from our haters that, and I'm not giving them attention. I'm bringing this to your point because it's happening to Alex Jones as well, with a tombstone that said Scott Binsack 1969 reputation. Listen. You get no more airtime on MFA. You get no more airtime on MFA. I just wanted to let you know that'll be the last time you get airtime on MFA. This is being handled a different way. Salute. So, now that that's over, I'm wishing everybody a wonderful day. I most likely will be on tonight with another second part of this because there is a very serious part coming on to this having to do with Manafort. With Kushner. I want to do a whole show on Kushner because this is so important to expose Kushner and all this before the shit hits the fan. Michelle, I do not think there's any real Democrats going to be going down for anything. And they're going to make sure that they're not going to take them down. Unless the people stand up and demand. People have the opportunity in this country to change the outcome of all of this. Of all of this. How? Susan Rice. This unmasking is huge. This unmasking in the Obama spy situation is huge. It's the mother lode. It makes Russia look horrible. It is the mother lode of espionage, treason with Obama. Okay? And at all team. From Clapper, Brennan, all of them. It is the mother lode. And the only way that load is going to be delivered is if the American people demand it. There is no other way. Or it's going to be pushed under the freaking rug, and it's not going to happen. Lisa, what's up with Mattis? There's a lot going on. Lay that out for us, please, how to do it. Okay. Yes, Tracy, we have to. I'm in the middle of, I'm telling you, and this is why I'm trying to get more volunteers on. We are creating, and I have the software, it's all set. But I have to finish it on the end. We're creating what's called MFA Nation. It is for, and we're opening chapters all over this country. Just so you know this, Arizona's up and doing great. Our Arizona chapter, they're trying to raise money now. They have a lot of speakers. They just got a top band to perform at their Red, White, and Blue March. They're trying to raise money because the band is willing to do it. They just want their expenses covered. So we're trying to raise money. They have already set up a fund sub to our fund. MFA is expanding. My vision for MFA and MFA Underground, and we're going to be using the Underground a lot very soon. So pay attention, and there's no way nobody who's not a vetted member can get in or watch videos from there or anything unless you have the code that's sent to you before the videos go live. Okay? I'm just telling you all that. So it's not happening. You'll see the Underground page. My point to you, with the MFA Nation, you will be able to write out to congressmen, boom, 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 boom. As a member, congressmen, senators, even telephone bursts to them, everything, email, everything is there. You know, it's all set up for you. This is how the left has been building theirs. We're doing ours. It's just that we're so busy. I got a march coming up. We're building our main website. We have our news network that we're building. I have to get prepped, investigate the news, do this. We have our membership program we're doing. We have the Underground we're developing. I mean, people, there's a lot that goes into this, and it's without your support and your help, we wouldn't be anywhere. I mean, well, I'm feeding it. I'm putting my money into this as well. But this is time consuming. This takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of help. And I want to thank all of our volunteers, people who have donated, people who have bought our stuff. Just as Alex Jones said today, we are under serious fire here. Okay. And it's going to take Americans to stand up. I want to make it easy for Americans to fight back. I want Americans to unify. So with this software that we're building, and as a member, you have access to it. So in your chapter, in your area, and part of MFA, you'll be able to, you want to write a letter to your congressman, or we'll send out thousands of letters to one congressman, simple, by people getting on there. You want to put a petition out, that's already be able to be created right in there. You could do it yourself. It's all done. You can start from your chapter. This is what we're doing. And I'm going to walk everybody through it on the video, how it all works and does it. But I have to get rid of this march. I have to get this march done with. And this march is for America, as well as it's to support Trump. But my point is this: Americans need to stand up for America. John Smedley. I think John's a troll. Is MFA 17 legit? No. End of story. I don't mention them on here. There's no more airtime on here. I'll make this clear. March for America, Inc. We have official check mark next to us. Our divisions, MFA Arizona, it's in the process. I sent the paperwork in to get its chat mark. MFA New York is showing up by the other. MFA Florida, MFA Chicago, Illinois, MFA. You're going to see them all over the place now. And then they're all going to be linked to our main website. And members are only get into the forum. Same thing with the Underground. Tracy, I'm working on something for you that as soon as this march is over, that we're going to be able to. You'll be able to go right to the landing page, fill out your name and what you want to say to the president, and it's going to go boom, right to him. So I want everybody to be able to speak directly, send directly to Trump and watch what we do. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're asking you for support. That's why we want membership. That's what we want volunteers. We want people. We're even offering to do paid positions. I know that Smedley name. It's a fake. No, you're not? Okay, whatever. If you're not, that's fine, and I apologize. But I'm almost positive. The name... Okay, Debbie, I respect your comment. Thank you for that. Miss Day, that was very nice. Well said. Thank you, Christine. Please just contact us. Gillis, I'm bringing you on board with us. No, don't go throw up. This is my point. This could be, and I have to end on this because I have a lot to do today, and there's so much news going on and so much stuff going on, and we're 4 days away from a big march. Janet, we're just forming the Florida one. We have Arizona up. We can't be forming. They will all be up within 2 weeks. I have to get this march out of the way, and we're setting up we have MFA TV on Livestream and others. You're going to be seeing our whole TV and radio platforms changing, tied together. There's a lot going on here that I'm doing. But MFA Arizona is up. That chapter is up. You'll see many new chapters coming on. They'll be shared onto our wall, and you'll be able to go from there. Thank you, Debbie, very much. I'd love to bring you aboard. Yes, Gene. Well, the software can only be done as fast as I can do it with everything else that we have going on. Michigan, we want chapters all over this country. Tucson, no, we need one in Tucson. We have Phoenix up, and they're doing very, very well. Phoenix is doing phenomenal. Great group of volunteers down there. Super dedicated. Great people. And they have a great event set up for the march. And they will be part of the nation right after that with their own website, their own building, and their own members tied into that with MFA. It's going to be fabulous how we're doing this. And they were the first one that we put up as a chapter. Patty, no. California will be going up. Jay Seklo cannot come. Jay Seklo is very busy. Joel, no. Little Rock we need. Oh, Laura, you got your patch? I'm glad. Oh, yeah, you sent the picture. I'm sorry. I'm glad you got that. I gave away, just so you know, they're all in the stores now, is our MFA. And they're custom, all embroidered. Our hats, there's other ones in there. All of our patches are in there. Stickers are in there now. These could be used on bumper stickers, anything that the glue adhesive is for inside or outside. We have lots of stuff. Spring jackets going in. And MFA Underground, there's a line of clothing in there for that, but you're going to be seeing some really cool stuff for MFA Underground. And then there's other sizes. There's 4.5 inch. These are heat on or sew on. They're all made in the USA. These are top quality. These are not junk. Nothing I have is junk. I don't believe in it. Long Island, where I'm from, yes, we're having a chapter on Long Island. Hi, Gina. Hi, Lisa. So I'm just telling you, we are, and I don't, the point is this. As Alex Jones said today, everybody needs to get together that is truly part of this and wants to help this and to fix this country and to stop this. We're all being censored. We're all being fake news. We're all being harassed. This is ridiculous. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue until people help and support and share and be a part of this. It's the only way. Americans have to stand up and unite together. And it's not just in a protest. It's not just that. I'm talking on a daily basis from your own chapters, volunteering, putting your help out there to help other Americans to get the truth out and to join together as one. United we stand, divided we fall. Yes, Beverly. Memberships, just so you know, membership cards, because there's so many of them, I want to get the march out of the way, and then we're mailing them out. Okay? I got my daughter folding membership cards. They got to get stuck in there, the printer. And I promised everybody when I get a second, I'm going to show you how this thing works. It's excellent. This is very expensive laser printer to put your name engraved on the cards. It's very cool. But they come, the membership packages are up. You'll see them. They come with flags, stickers, flag pin stickers, everything. We're building the membership, and thank you guys for all the purchases and memberships. Sorry, I'm reading some news that just came across. Like I said, Joanne, yes, you get a card. Anybody who's donated $25 or more to MFA is on the list as an MFA regular member. MFA Underground is separate. If you're a veteran, you get a 10% discount. You got to message me. There's a code. I'm not giving the code out because people will use the code. This is how people are. They take advantage of that, claiming they're a veteran and they're not veterans to get discounts to do that as well. And if you're disabled, we split the cost of it, or sometimes I just give them away for free as memberships if you're truly disabled. Okay? I can't. It's not just about money here, but we need money to operate and continue to grow MFA. I showed the other day on this video how much money of my own I put in there for my other company. This is about unity. This is about doing something for this country. And the left does it all the time. Yeah, Generation X, wake up, fight again. Yes, Barbara. So, and thank you all. Please share anything. If you see good news stories, please share our videos. As Alex Jones even said today, they are censoring all of us all over the place. I mean, they're even attacking Alex Jones. I mean, his ex-wife's trying to attack him. He was on Fox today. That they're trying to attack him because of his show to possibly lose custody of his children. This is how corruption works. I know how it works. They took my good name and they tried to listen. They failed miserably, though. Okay, they failed miserably. I suffered, but I fought. And you need to fight. People need to fight. And it just seems that they want to wait till the last moment, till the things get worse, and the worst that it could be, before they do something. You want to do it before the fact. You want to do it before the fact. You don't want to wait till it's so bad. And truthers and people who are truly on the right and a conservative, they need to get together and stop this battle of bullshit and hate. And they know who I'm talking about. This country needs to be brought together ASAP. Because it's a freaking war going on and it's bad. And when you see people fighting amongst themselves on the right and the conservative side, you got a big problem. But that's what they want to do. And they're dividing us even on the right, let alone they've already divided this country. People need to stop being childish. People need to start focusing on what's real and what's truly happening and not drama. And looking for ratings on the internet or whatever, or stardom and everything else. People need to get head from ass. Pay attention. Alexander, I want you to run Japan chapter. I'll have the page up for you next week, I promise you. We have a new volunteer doing all the headings. They're all going to be the same, beautiful, but they're all going to say what area they are, where they're going to be, and the pages will then get verified with a check mark. They're going to be up, and then they're going to be tied to its own sub-website, and that's part of the nation-building software. So every chapter has its own website, its own volunteers to sign in, its own access to write senators, congressmen, to hold it's amazing, this software that we have set up, and it's a lot, and it's even costly, but it's worth it. All right, guys, I got to roll. I'm beyond. Even if I'm on later for my car, I will. Just for that, I like to shoot from my car. You know what I mean? I know. You hear that? No, that's my other evil self. You know, it's the good angel and the bad angel. The bad angel's saying, "Don't say that, Scott." Say it, Scott. Say it, Scott. The good one's saying, "Don't say it. Don't say it, Scott. Behave." Serena, Assad is solid. Okay. I know what that means, Serena. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. I don't know, it's okay for other people to shoot in their car, but I shoot in my car. Oh my God. Why are you shooting in your car? Whatever. Pack your shit. Serena, you just told me Assad is solid. Is that what you're saying to me? I'll shoot from anywhere. People should know me. I'll shoot video anywhere. Others shoot video on the internet from their car only. Even celebrities. There's some serious top celebrities that shoot from their car. I bet you people don't go in there. Why are you shooting in your car there, boy? What's wrong with you? Alex Jones was in studio and from his car today. I know, but it's okay. Alex is under fire like me. There's stories all over the internet popping up that he's a fraud too. Okay? It's all everywhere. We're all being attacked. and we need your help. Okay? Americans need to unite and stand together. And for those who want to hate and for those who want to divide, you have no place in this, or you have no place in making America great again. Understand what I just said to you. Those who want to hate and divide and lie and harm others and try to divide the right have no place in making America great again. You will fail. Epically fail. Okay? Epically. Because I believe Americans will join together, and I believe Americans will stand together, and I believe that this can be stopped, and I believe it can be changed, and people can make a difference in this world. Exactly. Stay calm and blame it on Binsack. Pow. Those shirts are coming out. And remember, it's King Ballsack to all of you. And you all know what that means. It's King Ballsack. Sorry, ladies. Not trying to be graphic. Just some people have, it's King Ballsack. And it's Mr. Nutsack. Yes, Tracy, she's good. Yes, pack your shit. There's a whole clothing. Everybody loves these. I love them. I love the t-shirts, but I have this one on today for the march. Thanks, Laura. Yep. Exactly. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for liking, sharing. Thank you for everything. Please go, like I said, and share. We're going to be sharing a lot of March stuff. We have to reach this goal of 5K by Friday, because we have to. Either way, I'll make it up, but I'm asking you for your help to do it. But we have more. This March has turned out a lot more people are showing up for Washington, and I want to let anybody know. I want to make this clear. Any haters that have decided to try to come there to interfere with this march, or to interrupt it, or to come to assault or attack me, pay attention. You're in for a rude surprise when you get there. So understand this. I suggest you do not come. Pay attention. Please understand what I'm saying to you. You're in for a rude awakening if you try or attempt to harm anyone at this march, or myself, or anyone around me, or my family. Please pay attention to what I'm saying to you. You're in for a very big, rude awakening. Got it? And that's not an idle threat. That's a serious meaning. I'm not. It's. You will be dealt with legally and with security. My security, as well as the legal authorities, are all very well aware of it, and there will be high security at this event. So pay attention. Have a great day.